Welcome to Interdependent Study, the podcast where we engage in the learning and unlearning work for collective liberation. I'm Aaron, and this week I'm doing a little solo episode. So we're trying out an experiment because Damien and I didn't get a chance to record a normal episode this week because I was traveling for some time with family. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week, and Damien will be right here. Everything will be back to normal. And we'll talk about Derek Purnell's excellent piece in Hammer and Hope called The Courage to Disagree, which is about Dr. King's legacy and what he might say or think or do about the current situation in Gaza and the West Bank. For now, though, you are stuck with me. And I'm doing this because I wanted to talk about Gaza a little bit more. I want to talk about what's happened in the last few days, at least as of the release of this episode on April 3rd, 2024. On Monday, April 1st, the Israeli Defense Force killed 7 people who worked for the World Central Kitchen, which is one of the main aid providers in Gaza. It's one of the agencies that's been serving food to people. Because there's a famine happening in Gaza, the World Central Kitchen has been serving food to people who have had their access to food cut off by the IDF, by the decisions that the Israeli government has made. And sometimes when these people do get access to food, the IDF shoots at them and kills them or injures them, like they did on February 29th at the Flower Massacre when they killed 104 people, and as they've done a few times since that moment on February 29th. People don't have enough food to eat because the IDF is blocking the entry points for this food. Half of Gaza, 1.1 million people, are experiencing catastrophic food insecurity, according to the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification. It's a network that provides data about hunger to the UN, aid agencies, and governments. So it's pretty accurate and apolitical. So now agencies that have been operating on the ground in Gaza and been sharing their locations with the IDF to prevent exactly what happened on Monday, like the World Central Kitchen, they've pulled out of their important work of feeding people who are facing a famine because they can't safely do their work. So more people will starve. The man-made famine progresses because the IDF killed 7 people from the World Central Kitchen on Monday, April 1st, 2024. This is where our application and our homework comes in. I don't know how coherent this will be, but we're going to try it out. So we'd love for you to take some time and call your congresspeople and senators, your governor, the president. Tell them that they cannot continue to send money and weapons to an army that targets hospitals, kills people collecting food from aid trucks, and kills employees of agencies that exist to provide aid to people in need. Tell them that they cannot continue to send money and weapons to an army that kills civilians indiscriminately. 33,000 people are confirmed dead in this current siege, and that's not counting the numbers of people who are missing and could be presumed dead. We've talked in recent weeks about civility and how civility demands that we be quiet, we be polite, we be citizens who only make ourselves heard through the ballot box. We ignore the other things happening in the world because everything seems mostly okay for us here in the U.S. But everyone in our federal government needs to be disrupted when they speak in public in this moment. There's nothing civil about funding an army that kills 33,000 people, targets aid workers, and kills starving people while they try to get food for themselves and their family members. There's nothing civil about defunding the United Nations Relief Works Agency for Palestine refugees in the Near East. These are acts of violence that don't seem violent because they occur within a structure that is deemed democratic and orderly and civil. But these decisions are not civil. They are violence. We must meet these uncivil actions from our government with disruption. They need to hear us. They need to know that none of us stand for this violence that they are perpetuating. Find organizations, band together with people that you know, make calls together with people to all of your representatives. Make them every day. And if anybody's hosting an event of any kind in your district, make time to try to go see them. See them in their office, see them at their speaking event. If you don't want to stand up and shout, bring a banner. Make yourself heard, because they have to know that we see them. We see what they're doing, and we can see what how the choices that they're making here are impacting people across the world, are impacting the people in Gaza. Organizations like Jewish Voice for Peace are consistently organizing actions for people to take against the genocide. They have easy to take actions on their website where you can call your representatives, you can call Congress, you can call President Biden and demand an immediate ceasefire. You can demand that they stop fueling genocide, and you can demand that we reinstate UNRWA funding. You can do that at jewishvoiceforpeace.org. You can also participate in the A15 action, which is a coordinated economic blockade to free Palestine that is designed to take place on Monday, April 15th. It's a proposal for a multi-city economic blockade on April 15th in solidarity with Palestine. And it's received a lot of commitments from people to participate around the U.S. and internationally. You can check that out at a15action.com. Or if you want to learn more about the World Central Kitchen and the work that they do and or donate, you can visit them at wck.org. Really, we just urge you to get involved somehow, because we can see what's happening online in ways that maybe we've never been able to see before as clearly. That's all I've got for you all this week. You know what I'm going to ask you to do here, but in case you forgot, please follow. Leave a rating and review. Share a podcast with the people in your life. Follow us on social media, including Instagram and TikTok. Check us out on YouTube. Sign up. Join us on Patreon to get notified about any new things we've got going on behind the scenes. And please, let us all do what we can to stop the genocide and to struggle for the equal rights of Palestinians.